also wouldn't mind knocking out Gervonta Davis, and I know people are going to go, oh, you want to be Conor. I'm telling you, that fight is going to happen. I mean, I don't really follow boxing, but I've heard of Gervonta Davis, and I think he's undefeated. I'm about to pay. I want to have crazy, massive fights. That shit gets me excited. I love that stuff. And there's no stars in the bantamweight division. Gervonta, you could consider him like almost a star, and that's what gets me excited. Me versus Gervonta would be fucking massive. T-Mobile or here, fuck it.
Now, you guys know that I don't like Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't come on my YouTube channel and start praising Gervonta Tank Davis. As a matter of fact, when it comes to the game of boxing, I think Gervonta Tank Davis has one of the weaker resumes in the 135-pound division. But yesterday, there was a key UFC fight in the bantamweight division for the title last night between Aljamain Sterling, the best bantamweight UFC fighter of all time to me, versus Sean O'Malley, a guy who just got his opportunity of fame. And Sean O'Malley came through and won. Now, y'all know I don't care about UFC, but there was no boxing on last night, so I had no choice. And I watched the Aljamain versus O'Malley fight, and O'Malley did win. After the fight in the press conference, Sean O'Malley called out Gervonta Tank Davis. Said he wants to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. You can tell Sean O'Malley knows absolutely nothing about the game of boxing. The first thing he said that I listened to him, he said, there's no stars in the bantamweight division. I was assuming when he said in the bantamweight division, he was talking about boxing. Well, he has to know about Nayu Inoue being a bantamweight. And then Gervonta Tank Davis is a lightweight. I don't know if someone in the comment section let me know if UFC weights are different than boxing weights, but Gervonta is a lightweight, 135, and a bantamweight in boxing is 122. I don't know what Sean O'Malley weighs. I didn't see the weights for them yesterday, but I know they were fighting at bantamweight. I don't know if it's different for UFC. That being said, he was saying there's no stars in the bantamweight division, blah, blah, blah. I think Gervonta Davis is somewhat a star. Gervonta Davis, I hate Gervonta Davis. I think he's a cherry picker, one of the biggest in boxing. But he's more of a star than Sean O'Malley could ever dream of. Sean O'Malley's not even a star. Who are you, dude? You're some white guy, some white Irish dude from Phoenix, Arizona, with a tattoo on your face and pink braids. No one takes you serious, Sean O'Malley. And then just disrespecting the game of boxing, talking about he likes massive fights. I would say 50% of the boxing world is bigger than Sean O'Malley. Who is Sean O'Malley? Dana White, Sean O'Malley, UFC, the whole nine when it comes to UFC, and UFC fans need to understand UFC will never be bigger than boxing. We've been going over this for years. It will never be bigger than boxing, ever. UFC will always be the secondary combat sport to boxing. Do you not notice the fan bases? When you look at boxing, you see a rap, a hip-hop culture, a 2020 culture. When you see UFC, I see a rock and roll culture, a terrible culture, a culture that not the world's gonna like. So when you compare the two, it's not even close. As for Sean O'Malley calling out Gervonta Tank Davis, stay in your lane. You're a UFC fighter. Have you not learned from the best? Your boy Tyron Woodley came to the UFC to fight one of the worst boxers of all time, Jake Paul. And what happened? Jake Paul slept him. Your boy Anderson Silva came to fight Jake Paul. What happened? Jake Paul killed him. And this is Jake Paul we're talking about, not Gervonta Davis, not Nayu Inoue, not Deontay Wilder. These UFC fighters are delusional. They will never be better than boxers at fighting. And UFC will always be the secondary combat sport. And I'm tired of y'all UFC fans trying to make it seem like it's not.